Hey everyone, you got the Bub031 here again. And we are at the layout again, this time in January. It's a completely different layout. I'm going to show you around. And this was a giant 3-day operation as well. There were lots of trains and everything. And as you can see right now, we're just going to dive right into this. So, I just want you to all sit back, relax, and enjoy. Okay, so this is the Roadmaster's desk. This is where you will request to take a train out, either a local, a through freight, any type of passenger train through, regional or local, and your number will go up on the board as well for the local number. This is an overview of the map. And there's an area where your tabs go once the train's ready to be taken out. And as you can see, the yard is full. We had about 13 freight locals to choose from on this layout this time. Over on the far end, you'll see that's the passenger terminal. You don't have to worry about putting a passenger train down there. That's on your call. Where at the side that I'm at, it's the yard master's. So when you're here, you got to ask him to use that area. As well, while you're a yard master, you could be using some of the locals to change out some freight that's actually in the yard that has to be switched out. And you'll be given a set of cards, and then you'll be able to go out on the layout with your locomotive. Back over here, there's a small little engine facility. That's the through freight and some cars you will have to switch out, and as well as some passengers. So let's watch a passenger train go by. We are now taking off west. This is Gary, one of our crossovers, and here's Bell's Corners. Very detailed scenery. Coming up next, we have Moccasin Bridge. It's just a quick bridge gap to cover. Then we have Mason Creek, which is quite a bit of an industry that you have to work in. There's a full local that we had to do, and as well there's another branch line right down there. Now that we're done there, we're going to be going around the corner at Point Pierre, and we're going to watch a train go by Bell's Corners. All right, now that we're around the corner, we're at Beachburg Siding, which goes to the back of the fill yard. As well, there's a small crossover here to go from right hand running to left. Our next module here is a detailed of Deerfield with another crossover. Locomotives don't like it. We're now moving into one of the big scenery modules, which is Algonquin Park. The water was just finished, layered down on it. As well, as you can see, there are more figures to this now. We're just going to keep going here. We got Cremona now with another crossover and the other end of the fill yard. And here we are at M&O Junction, which takes us to the rest-hand portion of the loop. So, we're going to hold up here, and we're going to watch a train go by. We are now at Castor River. It's all automated with a phone or the tablet that's on the layout at that area. We're now coming into Glen Tay. There's recycling, industry that you have to switch out. Mandrake is just a quick little one single car drop off. York River, there's a gravel facility that you have to switch out. We are also now at Fredericks. It's a tank car facility and Stubnose End, which there's some locals up. Off of York River, we got South Keys. This is one of the main stations for the passengers that you have to stop at. Here is Edwards. There's about 2 locals that get switched out in here, and now we're at 3 bridges. Switches are either automatic or we use the stick for switching it to try and reach. We're at Marvellville Narrows and Mud Creek. It's a little area for stopping. We're now on the Chalk River. That's just straight scenery. And now we're at Anakis. This is just a terminal. The train starts here and ends here that you have to switch out. All right, let's go watch a train stop at South Keys. Coming off Mason Creek, we have White River, simple gap module. Then we have Connaught and Orleans. 2, one's for switching boxcars, the other is for switching hoppers. You can actually run around your train. And then we have Timber Grove, which is an M module, just enough space to run your train. Moving on, we're now at Mine Cloghog, Kleinwater, Kerndale, and Rosebush. A couple of industries you switch out here. Coming over to the St. Lawrence River Bridge module, which helps us turn. Next, we're into Colonnade, which is an asphalt and petroleum industry area that you switch off. As well, we have down the branch, we'll talk about that after, is Cami. Moving on, we're now to the Prairie Grain Terminal, a big module. It goes actually from the back to front. Mark did a fantastic job with this. Like, the elevator is amazing. You actually have to switch it out with your phone, but it is able to be switched by hand. Next, we have the hot box detector, which will go off. There's the instructions. We are now moving on to the BDU yard and refinery. There's a lot of oil industry that you have to switch out there. We're now moving on to Prescott, a quick, simple crossover to help you get around people who are blocking the main. Then we're at Bayview Junction. There's a station lower and a station upper, as well as a transfer track that has stuff that you have to pick up. Next, we have Jock River, a simple bridge module. Next, we're on to MB Foods and Vesta. There's 2 locals that come here. One switches out the back end and the other switches out the front end. You usually will switch out your whole train here. Next, we go on to Ottawa River Bridge module, which takes us into the East Loop. Next here we have Wycliffe. Quick little station stop, and it'll bring you back going west. We do have Green Valley, which is a simple little industry here. And then we're up to Willowdale. Now, let's watch a train move by at the grain terminal. Now we're looking at Grant and Tire, which is a big curve module. There's a lot of industry. And then there's Pine Point. It's a tight curve, so there's to get it back around. Next we have Vaughan Intermodal. This is another industry where it's all electrically switched around. And then we have one of the other big stations, which is a Fallowfield main stop. Bringing us back around, back on the Wycliffe, and taking us back west onto the layout, as you can see there. Moving on, we are now onto the Cami branch. This is Elwood, a quick little drop off. As well, we have Stillwater, which merges into a single track to Jackfish Bay, which will now lead us into the auto industry of Cami. There are 2 trains that come in here, and as well, there's a couple of trains that have to go to the end, which I'll show you after, that could also interrupt your operations if you're working in here. So, coil cars and that go there, box cars to the side, we got fuel cars, scrap metal, and the auto racks that all go in here. We do have Cami Lead West, which helps you move your train and all that. We're on to Rock Cut with Spencer's Gap and the turntable. There's a couple of stuff that you will have to switch out here, and you will actually have to use the turntable to actually switch. And that's it. And this is going to be it for this layout tour. As you can see, we have a couple of people running on the trains. This is a 3-day operation that has been going on for the month of January 2023. I'd like to thank the member who designed the layout. Everyone had a blast. I sure did. And now I'm going to be going to run a couple of trains, everyone. So, thanks for watching. And as always, make sure the signal is green and keep moving down the line.